Okay, so now that you've had a chance to watch the PowerPoint presentation on YouTube based on metric units of capacity, now we're going to start working on our reteach page, which is 15-2. And you'll notice it talks about 2 units of capacity in the metric system are milliliters and liters. So it says 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So if you remember back, milli means 1,000, so 1,000 milliliters. Now they give us 2 examples here. They have milliliters are used to measure very small amounts of liquid. Notice here it says 1 teaspoon is about 5 milliliters. So ml is being shown as an abbreviation for milliliters here. You also have another example over here. A liter is slightly larger than a quart. So if any of you have ever gone to the store with your mom, they sell, of course, they sell milk in the gallon, but they also sell it in quarts as well. You've also seen Coke bottles or liter Coke bottles. And Coke bottles can be 2 liters. So many of our beverages that are sold can be either in 1 liter or 2 liter bottles. So with that understanding and from our PowerPoint information, we can go on to, let's look at estimating using our understanding of milliliters and liters. So our directions for our problems say, choose the better estimate for each of these containers for their volume or capacity. So looking at the soda can, we have 350 milliliters or 35 liters. Now again, let's think back to our understanding here of our liter bottles for our sodas. We want to see or think about, well, 35 liters, that's going to be quite a few of these bottles. So if we're going to choose the best estimate, and a Coke can isn't too large, we would say that it would be more along the lines of an estimate of 350 milliliters. Not exactly, but close, right? Perfume bottle, 100 milliliters or 10 liters. So again, 5 of these bottles or 100 milliliters. We're thinking about, again, teaspoon sizes. What do you think? If you said 100 milliliters, that would be a more approximate or better estimate. Let's look at number 3. This is a canteen. If you've ever gone camping or hiking, sometimes you have, instead of a water bottle, a canteen. So 30 milliliters. Now let's think back to our Coke can. That's 350 milliliters. Would we choose 300 milliliters or 3 liters? You probably want to take quite a bit of water when you're camping or hiking. So in this particular case, we would have a better estimate by choosing 3 liters. A small carton of milk. So if we think back to a small carton of milk and think back to our soda can, using that as our benchmark, we are going to say, well, 25 liters or 250 milliliters. If you said 250 milliliters, you would be correct. That is a much better approximate estimate. Can of soup, 5 liters. Again, thinking back to our soda bottles, we would say probably more along the lines of 500 milliliters. And finally, number 6, a sports cooler. So many of you have gone to the river or you've had a sports event and you know what a sports cooler is, where you put your drinks. If you were to fill that sports cooler with some type of water or liquid, would you choose 4 liters as being the amount that you could put into a sports cooler, or 4 liters? 4 liters or 40 liters? So again, thinking about our sports bottle here, or our Coke bottle, these are 2-liter bottles of soda. What could you fill a sports cooler, or how much could you use to fill a sports cooler up with liquid? So if you said 40 liters, you would be correct. Now, question 7 asks us, which is the better unit to measure the capacity or volume of a bathtub? So would we want to use milliliters or liters? So would we want to use milliliters or liters to use to explain the capacity of a bathtub? So again, we're thinking about how long it would take for us to fill. Would we want to use something small like a teaspoon to fill up a bathtub, or would we want to use something more like a bottle? Well, in my thinking, we would want to use a 2-liter bottle as opposed to these teaspoons. So if we were going to determine which is the better estimate to measure a bathtub, we could say the better unit to measure the capacity of a bathtub, we're going to get rid of that of, to measure the capacity of a bathtub is liters. Why? Since it is a large container, we would want to make sure we would use liters. So now let's go on to the back of our reteach page. And if you turn your page, you're going to do the practice page on the back, which is 15-2. You're also going to choose the best estimate for each of the containers. And make sure that you are, for number 13, putting it into a complete sentence. And of course, on our Zoom day, we will review these and hope you do well. Have a great day.